This is Bart from Team Exos, and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is the first video, the first of many. We'll be having yoga videos, including chair yoga, seated yoga, and power yoga. You'll have to forgive us for our limitations on space. We're all doing our best that we can with this work from home time. And so you'll see a variety of different backgrounds, both with myself and also the trainers. And so today I have 10 simple stretches to help you during the work from home time. Things to help you get ready for your day, but also to help wind down at the end of the night. We're going to start with a march in place. That first exercise is lifting left knee and right arm, and right arm and left knee. We'll perform this 10 times. Warm up our hips, warm up our pectoral and shoulder girdle. Also get your heart rate going, get the blood flowing through the body. Next we'll work on body weight squats. So for our perfect body weight squat, we'll take our heels under our armpits. We'll have the toes slightly turn outwards. And there's two H's. We have our hips and we have our heels. So we're hinging at the hips, sitting back over the heels, bringing the hips down just above the height of the knee, and then we'll stand back up. We'll coordinate with our breathing, inhaling, sitting back and down, exhaling, standing up. We'll perform this good 8 to 10 repetitions. Get your hips moving for the day. Get the glutes activated. And again, warming up our breathing, our blood flow, and possibly our thinking mind first thing in the morning. The next stretch is arm circles. We'll perform about 10 arm circles forwards. And then we'll work about 10 arm circles backwards. You can always do more. This video isn't to have an exact repetition count. It's just to demonstrate the exercises for you, and I'll provide a possible target for you to hit as far as repetitions. The next exercise are called 10 huts, where I'm working my forearms together and then squeezing my shoulder blades together in the back. So I'll inhale out, exhale in, inhale out, exhale in. And I'll do about 10 of these. Get my shoulder, elbow, and wrist together in harmony. I got the breath backwards that time, but you get the idea. Our next exercise is a back extension. I'm going to take my hips under the body, squeeze my glutes, lift my chest, shrug my shoulders up to protect the back of the head. Our neck's very fragile, so we want to be very careful here. And to not forget about our breathing. All right. Our next stretch is our lunge, calf, and oblique stretch. For example, I'll step my left foot forward. I'll take my left hand to my left thigh, and I'll reach my right arm to the sky. Now I'm leaning into a lunge, pressing down on my back heel, stretching my calf, and reaching up out of the waist and overhead, reaching length out of my fingertips to get into my obliques. Now this one I would hold for 3 to 5 breaths, or if your mind needs a count, 10 to 15 count. And then we'll slowly switch sides. Lunging forward, pressing back on our heel. If I have my right leg forward, I have right hand, right thigh, and I have left arm to the sky. So reaching length out of the fingertips, reaching overhead, opening up the entire side body. So again, taking about a 3 to 5 breath count, or a 10 to 15 just numbers count. And then we'll work ourselves out. Next, we'll be stretching our neck. So taking our hands to the hips, looking out over the left shoulder. Again, trying to not just rush in and rush out. We'll want to hold this for at least 3 to 5 breaths. And then we'll slowly work back through center. Looking out over the right shoulder, pausing to take in a few breaths. And coming back through center. Shake it out. All right, working the side and neck twisters. We're going to stretch the left arm out to the side. We're going to drop right ear over towards the right shoulder and turn our eyes up towards the left corner of the ceiling. Now this one's going to stretch all those rotators in the neck, and if you're really tight, you'll feel this one very clearly. It'll let you know there'll be biofeedback. Again, another 3 to 5 count with the breath, or a 10 to 15 count with just the numbers. Slowly coming back through center, setting up for the other side, reaching right arm out, left ear over towards the left shoulder, eyes up towards the right corner of the ceiling. And slowly coming back through center. Next, I'd like to introduce you into a Romanian stretch. This is great if you have lower back pain or tight hamstrings. One perfect place to get this done is in the morning with a hot shower. So taking the hands to the thighs, pushing the hips back, coming back to those 2 H's, hips and heels. So I'm hinging at my hips, I'm putting all the weight in my heels. And what I'm actually doing right now is I'm pushing my thighs away from my body, trying to elongate my spinal column and get space to bring to some of those really tight vertebral bones. Again, another 3 to 5 count breath, or a 10 to 15 count on the numbers. Then we'll work ourselves back. And I know since you're all working at home, you're going to need those wrist stretches. So starting with just the 4 fingers on one hand, got my elbow at 90 degrees. So I'm starting with just the 4, stretching out all those carpal bones and phalanges. And then I might work to just the thumb. And with that one, I'll work around and I'll stretch backwards individually. The thumb has at least a third of all the muscles of the wrist, and so it kind of has its own thing. And so you don't want to stretch all 5 together. Plus, it's really challenging. So after we work that back on both hands, then we'll stretch down. So in this one, stretching the extensor compartment of the forearm. And so these are the ones that are really responsible for firing away at that keyboard. And so they need a lot of love too. Again, another 3 to 5 count breath, or a 10 to 15 count with the numbers before you switch sides. After you work on both sides, then we'll stretch the fingers, we'll roll the wrists out. We'll give ourselves a pat on the back. Good job, self. Thank you for sitting through this first video. Again, this is the first video of many to come. They're not going to start perfect. They're going to take some time to ramp up, but once we get our momentum, you'll have a whole lot of content to pick through.